What's up, guys? Nethervvoid, also known as John, back with more War Thunder 4 today, and got a couple of different games I want to show you, and also some cool new stuff in War Thunder to talk about that's coming up. But this is actually a historical battle that I'm showing you right here, going out my DO7 or 217. I think this is the J-2 version. I also have the J-1 bought, but I haven't been using it because I haven't put it in service yet. I'll probably switch out my I can't remember what that's called. HE112 8 or B1, the gold plane, because I like these 217s. They pack a big punch. So anyway, I'm flying out in a historical battle here. I've been trying these more lately. I just don't know if they're my cup of tea, and it's really just because you have to fly so long just to get into action, and then you have to fly so long to get back to the base if you have to reload or if you're damaged. It just doesn't feel like a good way to spend my gaming time, flying back and forth, basically not doing anything. I'm looking at the map here where I'm trying to figure out where I need to actually be aiming my aircraft. I'm trying to climb here and take out bombers is really what I'm going to be trying to do in this thing. So I figure bombers, I'm going to find them over our targets. That makes sense, our land targets. So I'm trying to kind of get my plane to be angled in that direction and have just enough incline. I want to have this maximum amount of incline I can get where I'm still gaining a slight amount of speed but mainly gaining altitude. So anyway, that's what I'm going to be doing for probably tons of time in this video. So now you can just watch me fly straight and not do anything. So I guess if you think that's fun, this is going to be awesome for you. Sorry I'm bagging on HBs so much. I just think the biggest problem with them, again, is that you fly for 5 minutes and then you got like 30 seconds of action, and if you get killed, it's over. Which you're gonna, half the time I would imagine, you're probably gonna get killed. You're either gonna kill somebody or they're gonna kill you, or well, you'll see what happens. So anyway, what I really wanted to talk about though is Gaijin just released some new ground forces first screenshots here. They released an Sherman M4A2, which is a jumbo, something that kind of appeared later in the war. It's supposed to have a large amount of armor compared to the regular Sherman, and it was a pretty cool tank, especially if you played World of Tanks. It's fun, but I don't know how it's going to be different in War Thunder. I'm sure all the tanks are going to be a lot different, and if you think there's any kind of Russian bias in World of Tanks, I would imagine you won't see that in War Thunder, because I don't think they really do that in this game. Russian planes are great, but there's a lot of other awesome planes like the Germans and stuff, which I'll be showing you a little bit after this. I never really feel like there's one group of planes that's more dominant than the others, with the exception maybe Japanese, just because they really get the short end of the stick with the no armor and fairly poor guns. So they're a glass cannon, but they don't have a cannon. It's kind of a pain, but... So anyway, the other screenshot they released was the Tiger 1 or the Tiger H, whichever way you want to look at it. It really looks cool. I like the style they're going with, kind of a very used up and been in the field look, where it's all kind of dingy and stuff. Looks really awesome. It looks like it has the short 88 on it, so that's going to be really cool. Hopefully they don't allow guns that didn't really happen in the war or to be mounted on tanks, because the Tiger never had the long 88. It always had the short 88, which that's all it needed. When it was released, it blew away every other tank. The short 88 could pen anybody, and at more than 500 meters. So it was a very good gun. It had no problems with penetration. It didn't need the long 88. It wasn't even until later in the war that it needed the long 88, and by then they had the Tiger 2 out anyway, so it didn't really matter. So awesome that they had those screenshots out there. Give everybody a little better taste of what's going to be coming. And I'm not really sure how again, nobody really knows how the gameplay is going to be, except people that are probably already in testing. Obviously they know. It's probably, hopefully, pretty awesome, because it would be really nice to not have to play World of Tanks as much and be able to mainly start focusing on War Thunder a little bit more. The second part I wanted to talk about, and I'm actually getting through my stuff kind of quick here because the first game's not even done. So, as you can see, I've been flying for like 29 years. The first time I've even seen a target here. It is cloudy and it's rainy. I think it's just clouds. And I'm trying to... This is a bomber, so I definitely want to go after him. First I was thinking I really didn't want to go after this guy because he's so much lower than me. But since bombers is how you win in this map, I really wanted to kill the bombers, really needed to get them out of the game. So, going after this guy right here, kind of taking some weird turns again. Oh, he's dead. Historical battles have way different flight models, so you have to be really careful with how you fly. You can see the plane is all over the place. So you just have to be careful with that. It really doesn't want to level out. Another B-25. Really awesome they saw 2 of the bombers. I think they only have 3 bombers out right now, so killing these bombers is really going to help us immensely. So coming in on a dive a little bit right here. Also, when you're diving in historical, you have to be careful because your wings will rip off if you're going too fast. I've had the F4 up to like I want to say 800 without the wings ripping off, so it's fine. But the Japanese planes, I know they rip off at like 500 or 600. So I got, no, didn't like the shot I had on that guy. Probably should have taken it. He's doing a really hard banking turn to make sure that I don't get the drop on him. But I got the drop on him anyway. There he is. He's probably trying to get his gunner to take me out. Again, a very hard banking turn by him. Not really going to help him out though. Take out his engine right there. Putting the 20mm cannons right into him. And you can see the plane is all over the place because the flight model is different. Now, I got a King Cobra on my butt. It's going to be a no-brainer right here. Also, it seems like the damage models are a lot different. I'm barely getting hit, and it's just taking everything out. So, all my control surfaces are gone, and boom. I'm dead. So, that's it. That's Historical Battle. That was a pretty awesome one. Let's get another one. Hold on. So, here's the second game I wanted to show you. This is an arcade battle, as you can obviously tell, with all my planes are unlocked. I'm going out in the F4 Trope right here. And I think we're on Alpine Meadow. No, this is a different map. I can't remember what it's called. I should have just looked. If you want to know, just roll it back. Anyway, so you can see, to me, it just feels like there's too much downtime with not doing anything just to have like 20 seconds of action. I don't know. I understand why historical battles are enticing. I like the damage models. I like that you don't have the aiming, lead indicator, and all that stuff. The problem with it is they don't start you close enough to the action, and the landing strips are just too far away from the action. And I just want to get into the action and start dogfighting and start shooting people. You know, I don't want to wait 5 minutes. That's me. You know, I don't know if later I'll like it more, but it just doesn't seem as fun. In fact, the arcade mode of this game is why I actually like War Thunder a lot more than World of Tanks right now, because I feel like the same thing happens in World of Tanks, where you spend like 3 or 4 minutes getting into position, and then maybe you take a couple of bad arty hits, and then you're dead. So it's like, damn, I just spent all that time to get into position, and I die. Now, in War Thunder, it is a little different because you die a lot faster. In World of Tanks, it takes a lot longer to die, so it's a lot more forgiving. But anyway, dropping in on this P-40, I figured out of all those guys, he was probably the biggest threat there, and he flew right into the mountain for some reason, but sweet, nice. Doing an Immelman right here to conserve my energy, so I can drop down on somebody else. Using my ailerons to turn, and there we go, the I-16. That's who I wanted to shoot. He's doing a little bit of crazy maneuvering, and I can't really get my guns on him too good right there. So anyway, the second thing I wanted to talk about is Gaijin put up a post, one of the devs, to explain kind of how the damage model, well, really not the damage models, but basically it's about how guns work in War Thunder. Really how guns work, period, in aircraft. And then secondly, how they work in War Thunder. It's a really cool post about bullet trajectories, how they map, how many bullets are coming out of those guns at a time, and how they don't really group bullets together. All the bullets are separately modeled, which is awesome. Again, I'm dropping in on this guy, using ailerons there. Bam! Right into his face. Right into the engine, probably explosive shell. I did unlock a lot better ammo rack for this game right here. I'm using the air combat ammo rack, so having some great gameplay here. Again, I try to go after bombers if they're dropping low, because on these ground assault maps, really you need to kill the bombers first. But anyway, you can look at it. They have some really good trajectory maps on machine guns and stuff. Looks like they're from the Americans, which is really cool. And it shows you the trajectory and gun convergence. And then that is probably, that's got to be incendiary and high explosive, but I think it's more incendiary at that point. The fire is just taking guys out now, and I really like how they've changed it. Now on my cannons here, But anytime you can get shots on a guy, go for it, because those machine guns could take the guy out. Or get you assist right there. It's better than nothing. So cannons are coming in quick soon. This game is really going by quickly. Getting a lot of great action on these guys. A lot of great maneuvers right here. So anyway, it also shows, which I think is cool, a side-by-side. Another thing that actually we don't really talk about much is bullet spread. Now that's why you have your greatest effect when you shoot guys at like 400 meters or less, or 400 feet or less, or whatever, because the bullets have not spread out as much. I was looking at this image, and you guys should really check it out, this graph, and it shows that at about 1,000 feet, which is about 300 meters, the bullet spread is packed pretty tight, and then obviously, you know, at 600 it's very, very tight, and all that stuff. So it's just really good to look at this map, and it kind of totally explains why when you turn your plane at a certain degrees angle and stuff, you're not getting a lot of kills, because a lot of your bullets are just not hitting. And you can't see, obviously, you can't see all the bullets, or that would help a lot, and you would figure out why you're not getting as many hits as you think. Also in this game, you're basically seeing the awesome ammo out of the, I can't even remember what it's called. I was going to look it up, and I don't know how to say it. It's a special German ammo that just got put in a couple patches ago. I think when patch 1.29 went in, and it's obviously having a big impact on this game, where I shoot a guy a couple times with that 20 mil cannon, and it just shreds him. And it's because of that special high explosive type ammo that the Germans used a lot, where the weight of their shell was not as great, but they packed it with more explosive, and it just had a greater impact on these aerial targets. So anyway, that's what you're kind of seeing right here. That's why guys are just falling apart when I shoot them with that cannon. 0 deaths, 4 kills, pretty nice so far anyway. I'm looking at who is blowing up our ground targets, because that's who we need to go after. We're about to lose this match, and really need to kill the guy who's taking out our ground targets. So anyway, looking at this bullet trajectory and stuff that they sent out, also they wanted to talk about how there's also a bunch of stuff on different rounds and how they're packed and different things like that. Check that out. But they're also talking about in version 1.31, they're going to be adding a bunch of new stuff in for damage models, and for air and between air and water-cooled engines. Air-cooled engines will not have as hard a time as water-cooled engines, because if you get hit in the coolant and you lose your coolant, your engine's going to suffer some damage and stuff. It's going to be a lot harder to fly your plane. This guy did some pretty crazy moves on me right here. I don't know how he's getting the moves he's getting on me, but he got him. Good job. He's waiting for his gunner, I think, to take me out. But man, he's just fast. There he goes, bombing another one of our targets. And his gunner takes me out right here. And I figure, you know what? I tried to ram him right there, but I think he blew up before I could ram him, because I wanted to take him out. He's a bomber. And I did that on purpose, because I wanted to get that guy out of the game. As you can see, fire's doing a lot more damage here. My engine's totally out. My plane is basically falling apart. So, I don't know if they stealth nerfed fire damage, but you can see in this video, it's much bigger than it used to be, it seems like anyway. I bail out of the plane. I thought maybe the fire would go out and I could fly back to the base and repair it, but no dice. So, first death, 5 kills, pretty nice. Game's just about over. We've got 2 units left to protect, and I think they're pretty hardened units, hopefully. Now, again, I'm looking for whoever's bombing our targets. It's, man, I can't remember the guy's name. He's about to pop up, though. I remember I found him about here. There's his Peanut Man. There he is. He's over to the right a little bit. He's shooting out our stuff with rockets, is I think what he's doing. So I'm going to target him. But he doesn't feel like as much of a threat. He's in a dogfight, so I don't think he's really targeting our ground forces right here. It's time to just take out these guys. Wow, I almost crashed with that guy. In air collision right there almost. 7G turn. Pilot's obviously almost passing out. But anyway, go check that out. I think it's going to be cool. I mean, if they can increase the models even more, that's going to be awesome. Get a hit on this guy, trying to do a stall maneuver. Really not a great idea. Enemy kill assist right there. As you can see, using the ailerons to turn my plane very quickly. And the game's over, got on hand. I thought I maybe was going to get fighter, but apparently somebody had more kills than I did, so I thought I did pretty good. But again, I wasn't in. I cleared out. Me and our guys cleared out our whole side before I really had a chance to do much more than that. So pretty decent game, really short game. 1200 experience. That's decent for how short the game was. I did get my 2 times right here and got a huge bonus there. So let me know what you think about those enhancements to the game. I think they're pretty awesome. Go check them out. The links are in the video description. And I'll talk to you guys later. See ya.